Hello children, today we will be doing the topic light, shadow and reflection, and it happens to be chapter 11 in your textbook. So now I have divided this chapter into two parts, part 1 and part 2. So first we'll be doing the part 1 video of this chapter. I'll just present my screen to you. Now, in the part 1 video, we will be covering the following subtopics: light, sources of light, luminous and non-luminous objects, types of materials, that is transparent, translucent and opaque, and rectilinear propagation of light. Now, have you ever experienced darkness? And when you did that, what was your reaction? You must have switched on the lights, right? And as soon as you switched on the lights, you were able to see the objects around you. So it's light which makes things visible. So light is the form of energy which enables us to see objects around us. Sunlight looks white, but it is made up of many colors. It is a combination of 7 different colors and is known as white light. Light is bent or refracted when it passes from one medium into another. For example, when light passes from air into glass or glass into air, it bends, and this is known as refraction. When a narrow beam of white light passes through a glass prism, it bends and splits into all the colors of a rainbow. You can see this through this diagram. Now here, this beam of white light, it is entering from air into glass. So you can see that it is refracted, it is bent, and it also split into 7 colors. That is violet, indigo, blue, green, yellow, orange, and red. The pattern of colors is called as a spectrum. Light actually bounces back from objects and enters our eyes. And there it produces signals which are sent to the brain. And this is how we are able to see the objects. Here you can see the light is falling on the object, that is a pencil over here. And it is bouncing back and entering the eye of that boy. And there it produces signals and sends it to the brain, and this is how the boy is able to see the object, that is the pencil. So light bounces back from object, enters our eyes, produces signals there, sends it to the brain, and this is how we are able to see the objects. Sources of light. Now, an object which emits light is called a source of light. So all the objects which emit light are called sources of light. Example, electric bulb, candles, lanterns, sun, stars, etc., etc., etc. There are so many objects which emit light. Now, all the sources of light can be divided into 2 major groups: natural sources, artificial sources. Natural sources of light are the sources that exist in nature. Example, sun, stars, glowworm, firefly. And now the artificial sources are the sources which have been made by man. They are also called as man-made or artificial sources. For example, torch, candle, tube light, and lamp. Luminous and non-luminous objects. Based on their property of emitting light, objects are divided into 2 types: luminous and non-luminous. Luminous objects are the objects that emit their own light. For example, sun, tube light, burning candle. And on the other hand, non-luminous objects are the objects that do not emit their own light. For example, moon, earth, table, chair and tree. Now, you might get confused when it comes to moon. You might think that moon is actually a luminous body, but it is not. It actually reflects the light of the sun. It is a non-luminous body. There is one more phenomena which we will learn about, that is triboluminescence. It is an optical phenomena in which light is generated when a material is mechanically pulled apart, ripped, scratched, crushed, or rubbed. Substances that emit light when rubbed or crushed or scratched are known as triboluminescent substances. Types of materials: transparent, translucent, and opaque. Based on the amount of light that can pass through them, materials are divided into three types: transparent, translucent, and opaque. Transparent materials are the ones that allow light to pass through them, all the light to pass through them. For example, water, air, glass, etc. Translucent materials are the ones that allow some of the light to pass through them, or that allow light to pass through them partially, not completely. Some of the light can only pass through them. For example, butter paper, oiled paper, molten wax, frosted glass, etc. Now, opaque materials. Materials that do not allow light to pass through them are known as opaque materials. They absorb all the light radiations which fall on them. For example, book, wall, wood, etc. Here I've got a slide for you showing you these materials. Transparent, an object that is clear and light can pass through. Translucent, an object that is cloudy and only allows part of the light to pass through. And opaque, that is an object that light cannot pass through at all. Rectilinear propagation of light. Rectilinear propagation of light is actually when light propagates in a straight line. So, light travels in a straight line, and this property of light traveling in a straight line in a homogeneous transparent medium. Homogeneous means the same medium. It's not from one medium to another. It's the same medium, homogeneous, and it has to be transparent. So, the property of light traveling in a straight line in a homogeneous transparent medium is known as rectilinear propagation of light. Now, we will be performing an experiment to prove that light travels in a straight line. For that, we will have to take three cardboards, A, B, and C, and we will make a pinhole at their centers. Here, we have taken three cardboards, A, B, and C, and we have made a pinhole in the center of these cardboards. Now, place a burning candle on one side of the first cardboard, that is A, and arrange the cardboards in such a way that the three pinholes and the candle flame are in a straight line. Here we can see the candle flame and the three pinholes all are in a straight line. The candle flame will be visible through the pinhole of the cardboard C, right? It's just because all the three pinholes and the candle flame are in a straight line, and we know light travels in a straight line. So now what you will do is you will slightly displace any of the cardboards, and now again you will try to see the flame through the pinhole of the cardboard C. Okay, so you will just displace one of the cardboards and you will again try to see the flame. But will you be able to see the flame? No, you can't, right? Because now when you will displace one of the cardboard, then all the three pinholes and the candle flame won't be in a straight line. So the flame will not be visible. From this, it is clear that light travels in a straight line. Here you can see the setup of this experiment. Now, with this experiment, we have come to the end of part 1 video. Now we'll meet in the second video. Thank you, children.